Relay's going away, there's a pre-release system, and set champs are changing. We discuss all that on the other side. Let's dive in. What's going on, fellow Illuminators and Titan Nation? Welcome back in. I'm lorcana, the Mad Titan of the Illuminator, and we have big news to go over with the OP system here. So, as I said, we are talking about Melee. There is a pre-release system, and of course, set champs are changing. But before we get started, do me a massive favor. Notice that about 86% of you who watch my content are not subscribed. So do me a massive favor. Hit that subscribe button and click the bell so you're notified when I upload every Tuesday and Friday. Let's dive into the info. All right, so I first saw this from citizens of Lorcana on their X page. So it says, bye-bye Melee. This is huge news. Ravensburger has developed Ravensburger Play Hub. So this comes from a Facebook group called Ravensburger TCG OP Realtors. So first up, introducing Ravensburger Play Hub. So it's a way for stores to register, organize events in a event manager tool. Looks like it's starting in early February with additional features to be announced soon. What's cool about this is when I was reading through this earlier, it says that once the Play Hub's event creator and manager is live, that there is going to be different formats to play Lorcana at your store, and I think that's actually really cool. So you can do pack rush, core constructed, draft, and sealed. And anytime you have multiple ways to play the different formats, that's going to attract players to come to your store. I know Yu-Gi-Oh has a big problem with that, of course, with having their constructed, and then of course Goat and Edison. But on the higher competitive level, of course, Goat and Edison aren't really supported, so it's just the main core constructed. Advanced, if they still call it advanced format. Haven't played Yu-Gi-Oh in a hot minute, but they don't have like different formats. Obviously this is just on a local level, but this could be the start of something on a grander level, maybe at quest events, for example. When should you move to the Ravensburger Play Hub? Well, as you can see here, they want to give people time to get used to the system, and features will be rolling out in early February. And as you're introducing your players to the system, they're asking to continue to use Melee through Arcasia's Island events, including set champs. So I think that is interesting. We are using Melee for a little bit longer, and then with Reign of Jafar, as you can see here, we will start using this new system. And so players must be registered through this new system for in-store programs, as it is the only platform to register and play support going forward. And then this talks about the pre-release events, which we will be talking about here in a minute. Stores will be able to sign up and schedule them on this new system. And then after Reign of Jafar, stores will also need to have run and reported events to continue to get materials on future Disney Lorcana TCG sets. So let's talk about the pre-release events, because I thought this was interesting. All right, pre-release events. So beginning with Reign of Jafar in Q3, we are moving to a pre-release system. So hobby stores are going to be able to register through the RPH for Reign of Jafar pre-release event that will take place 1 week prior to the full set release. And then it says in parentheses here, the full set release includes all distribution channels. So RPH retailers are permitted to sell product in store starting with their pre-release event. There will also be promo cards in your Disney Lorcana OP kit to support a buy a box promotion, which is really cool. That's something that I think they should have done from the start, but I'm glad that we got to this point. If we're not going to have box toppers, which is something I hope comes in the future, having a promo for supporting your LGS, I think, is a great way to go. Promos are only available to RPH realtors to incentivize purchases in your stores rather than online, as we just discussed, and pre-release pack rush events. This is interesting too. This would be kind of fun to play, see some stuff early, because not everything gets revealed through the various content creators or websites or even Ravensburger themselves. Hey there, so real quick, if you're enjoying the content, if you could do me a massive favor, be sure to like, subscribe, and click that bell so you get notified of when I upload new videos every Tuesday and Friday. And let me know down below what you think of the video. All right, back to the video. Let's go down to weekly play, and then we'll come back to the big conversation point. Weekly play. Programs for weekly constructed and pack rush play to bring players back week to week and build your community will be supported through the OP kit, as well as digital support like store-specific leaderboards in the Ravensburger Play Hub. Again, I think this is a fantastic way, as we talked about at the beginning of the video, having multiple formats, and because different players have different things that they're interested in when it comes to playing the game. So obviously having different formats is a great way to get players to come into stores, help support the game, and help foster and build that community. Let's talk about the big elephant in the room, and that is set champs. So I'm going to read this verbatim, and then we will talk about it. So the set championship program will only be available through RPH following Arcasia's Island. Stores can schedule one set champ per set, starting with Arcasia's Island. Set champ kits will now include one champion playmat, 8 enchanted foil promo cards for the top 8 of your event, as well as 40 non-foil promos featuring the same artwork as the enchanted card in a standard card format instead of the enchanted style. Please use these non-foil promo cards as incentive for players to pre-register for your event while supplies last. Okay, so this is the big elephant in the room in the community right now about this announcement. I'll start with the positive. This is something I have wanted them to do for a long time. And when I say something, I mean giving the non-foil versions of whatever the set champ enchanted is something I think they should have done from jump. Because if you notice, Stitch got really valuable and really hard to get at that point in time. Of course, we slowly opened it up to top 8, and it kind of is like even a giant feels bad for everyone who is not in top 8, because I'll give an example. I went to one this prior weekend at a store, and my wife went, and it was her first one, and it was a gigantic waste of money because it's up to the stores to kind of like reimburse you a little bit right now, and we didn't get nothing for entering. Like, their price system was like a pack for each round win, which was a gigantic feels bad, because like she's not really a competitive player. Like, she went just to like have fun and see like what it is, but of course we still have to pay for her to go. And so like she walked away with nothing, so I had to like try and pick up everything. And fortunately, I got an enchanted out of my pricing, which made up our money. But it is like a giant like feels bad, and they should have been doing this at least from Ursula on. Like, Stitch, I get, and to all the competitive players who like, well, it kind of devalues everything. Like, I disagree, because you still have the opportunity to get the enchanted one for top 8. So like, I think it's a good thing. Like, you're still incentivizing people to come play. Now, the thing with only getting 40 is if your store is able to hold more players than that, then it becomes first come, first serve. And then we get into the whole reserving spot for local players, people who have life events where they can't always attend league, who then like get kind of screwed out of spots, to lack of a better word. And then we open up Pandora's box with that issue. I think that's going to come back into play now. But I do like where they're trying to go with this, with the incentive of you paid your $20 to $30 depending on what your store is doing, and hopefully stores will give you packs or something else in addition on top of, and not just rely on this to be what you get as a participation prize. The 8 enchanted foil promos for top 8, that I'm perfectly fine with that. I'm glad that that's staying. And the big thing for the competitive players, and I get the gripe with this, there's only one champion mat, and not the champion mat and then the mat that for second place that doesn't have the champion on it. I do think this is a mistake. I understand from a cost perspective that's probably what they're doing is they're trading the cost of the playmat for the cost of the 40 non-foil promos, so that way everyone walks away with a prize. However, I think you should be doing both, quite honestly. I think both I think they should have kept everything how it was, but added the 40 non-foil promo cards. So everyone walks away with something, and hopefully the store is in a position where they can add packs on top of that. I understand people being upset because, you know, it's really hard, at least in my area. All of the events I've gone to have been super competitive, and so it's really hard to get to that final match, much less top 8. And so to get second and you walk away with the same thing as the person who got 8th, as a giant feels bad. So I definitely understand that gripe, but I think things are going in the right direction. I really want to see what the Play Hub is going to look like to kind of play with it and see like kind of like what all it does and like what the features are. But I think this is a step in the right direction, minus the whole playmat thing. All right, so there you have it. That is what is currently going on. What are your thoughts on the changes? I think most of them are going to be okay. I think there's a lot of positivity. However, I think the set chain thing is going to piss a lot of people off, and for good reason, actually. So let's have a discussion about it down below, and I'll see you next time. That's going to do it for today's video. Be sure to give me one of these. It's super impactful and helping this video find other Illuminaires such as yourself. If you like the Lorcana content here on the channel and you want to see more, tighten smash that subscribe button and click that bell so you get notified of when I upload new videos every Tuesday and Friday. Also, be sure to let me know down below what you thought of this video, and you can follow me on the artist formerly known as Twitter on X at lorcana, and I'm on Blue Sky as well at lorcana. Thanks for watching, and I think you might enjoy these. And remember, the hardest choices require the strongest wills.